Tommy boy, look at you. Give me just a second here, bud. We're still getting set up. Since you're here, though, can I get a mic check? Alright, there we go. We're in. We're live. Oh, good to see you, Tommy. I'm glad you're here. Loud and clear. Awesome. Hey, I'm going to show you something. I was thinking about you earlier today, actually. It's funny. I was wondering if you're going to be here tonight. Let me, let me pull up this picture. There it is. Let's see. There you go. You see that? I was in traffic earlier. I was like, does he live around here? Like, I don't think this is an imposter. Welcome everybody to the show. Welcome to Bigfoot Input Live. Man, we're gonna get into some shenanigans tonight. I've got questions. I have some questions that I want some feedback on tonight, so might get a little crazy. I will tell you guys though, seriously, if you have any friends and family in Florida, you need to check on them. Because we are hot. We are hot down here. Okay? And if you can hear the fan going in the background, if it's distorting the quality of the audio, I don't give a shit. Because it is hot. Now that we've got that squared away, we can move on, to other topics. Bigfoot World, Kathy said that if she can't make it tonight, to tell everyone she said hello. So that'll be the first one of the evening right there. She is in the woods, currently tracking down some beast, some amazing picture, I'm sure. So if she can't make it tonight, we'll give her a break on this one. But she said if she can find anywhere that has a signal, she'll hop in for a while anyway. Let's see. Music too loud. Let's cut it down a little bit. How's it going, Ty? How are things in Pennsylvania? I read today that this is the last calendar month with no football until the end of next season. So that's kind of a good news, I didn't get to catch as much football last season as I normally do, but still, it's nice to have the option. It's nice when you go into a bar or a restaurant. There's games on at least. You can, even if it's not your game, not your team. Doesn't matter. It's on. You watch it. It's football. Makes you feel good. Eating your food, you keep looking over your shoulder, see who's winning. Doesn't matter. You know, doesn't matter to you, but still, it's on. Let's see, what do we got to look at this week? Get a couple pictures going for you guys. Wait a minute, so you have COVID, you took a test, and you're negative. Slightly confused. Speaking of Kathy, Bigfoot World, aim to frame. This is her picture. A very cool picture. What do you call IR picture? Infrared. It's a clear shot of a skunk ape, side profile. Oh, you had COVID. Okay, I got you. Well, you tested negative. That's good. Good for you. Yeah, I don't know. I certainly don't want to dive into a conspiracy theory about COVID, but I got the 2 vaccinations at the very beginning when they had basically scared everyone half to death about it. You're gonna die, and since then I haven't had any side effects other than completely wanting to obey my government. So I'm good. There might have been some little nano chips in there, but I think I passed them by now. I'm okay. I won't get any more vaccinations. I can tell you that. I'm done with that. I'm done. I'm not gonna take a vaccination every 6 months for this shit. And I don't do the flu shots either. So it's like, if it's gonna get me, it's gonna get me, I guess. My only thing is I don't want to spread it to anybody else. So just it's funny too, because like when COVID first was a big thing, it was like we started doing the things that we were taught as kids, like wash your hands, don't pick your boogers, stuff like that. And all of a sudden nobody had a friggin' cold for like 15 months. You notice that? Because if anybody coughed, they were getting tested for COVID. But nobody was sick. And all of a sudden the heat was off and people started, wiping their boogers again with their hands, and then, now we're sick again. Yeah, well, honestly, Tommy, I don't envy you. I mean, I know that sounds good on the surface, but I've been there. I was there for, not with COVID, but I was there for a month, just on my ass, not allowed to lift anything, not allowed to do anything. And I'll tell you what, for a month, that was absolutely, I was stir crazy. Like, it was really bad. That was a dark time for old J Mac, you know what I'm saying? So I really don't envy you being stuck in your house that long. Look at this guy, Adventure Monty, just showing up. What's up, buddy? How you doing? I love your green name and your little Bigfoot Input emblem there beside your name, because you're a member. You're awesome. Tommy, thanks for joining the Patreon last week, dude. I appreciate that. Patreon's always been one of those things where I've felt guilty about taking people's money because there's so little content on there, but it is like terribly cheap. But we hope to be adding some new content soon. I think that's going to be fun. Portal Dodger, yeah, you might want to speak to Bigfoot World, depending on your location. I mean, they do stuff like that, you know. They'll take people out. In fact, they're out in the woods tonight. They're out there having some sort of little camping thing tonight, you know. And this picture is from the Ocala National Forest. Hey, Token, welcome. You know, Tommy, I mean, you know, if you feel better, you can go walk out in the woods. I don't think you're going to give a Sasquatch COVID. It'll be okay. They've been around for so long, they probably have all sorts of immunities. It's funny, you know, because it's like, Monty, I've always said, I'm like, you know, if I could, if I ever would, let me just say would, okay, because it's my fault. If I would take the money that I make from the channel, which is not much, believe me, it's not that much, but if instead of just putting it into my bank account, if it went to a different account, and I only use that money to better the channel, no matter what the situation is, I gotta pay fees on, you know, editing programs and photo editing programs and microphones and shit like that, you know. So it's like, if I were to only use that money, I feel like the channel would be further along than it is. So I do appreciate the support. And as I say, I feel that we're going to have some interesting content coming up for Patreon ears only. Well, you know, for members ears only, that sort of thing. And I'm excited about it. It's just a matter of getting it, you know, getting it done, getting it on record, and we'll get there. Yes, the command unit. You remember that? That's my dream. That's my big, like, ridiculous dream, is to one day have the van or the RV with the Jeep tow behind. That it's all, you know, Bigfoot Input on the side. You know, the wrap, and it's got the Wi-Fi and cameras and, you know, infrared stuff, and whenever anybody reports a Bigfoot, we just hop in the RV and go to that location and set up, you know, a camp right there. I think that would be so cool. Interview the people involved, you know, take a look around, find some evidence maybe. I mean, that would be the life. That would be very cool. From here to Canada, Bigfoot researchers. It is a great idea, Tommy. Don't steal it. Billy Rob, look at you. What's going on? Hello to you too. For anybody that wasn't here a few moments ago, Kathy Westerman is currently in the woods right now doing her thing, and she said that if she finds a signal, she'll make it. If she can't, she just wanted to say hello to everyone. So we'll see. Yes, Mick, it is a Bigfoot stream. It's a Bigfoot channel, and we are going to look at some pictures of Bigfoot, and we're going to talk shit for the next few hours. Yeah, I'm totally behind that, Monty. Just a little spinning dish. You know, it really makes you look professional. It's kind of like, you know, Cartman and the fountain in the lobby. If you don't have a fountain in the lobby, you know, you don't look professional. Like, you know, so we got to get the dish for the top, have it spin around. Kind of like, you know, oh man, I lost. What was I going to say? I had a thought and I lost it. Alright, it's gone. It's gone. It's gone. Well, thank you, Mick. Feel free, man. Join us, kick in. If you got a story, question, or anything you want to throw out there in the world, you're welcome to. Believe me, Tommy, if that project were to ever take off, I'd be out there in Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, wherever the Bigfoot calls, man. That would be cool. Yeah, I'll say, Mick, well, my favorite Bigfoot, if you want to call it a podcast, it's not really a podcast in the sense that like a few people are sitting around talking to each other, but it's just a group of people's Bigfoot stories, and it's called My Bigfoot Sighting. It's by Vic Cundiff, and you'll find it on like Spotify, which is to me the easiest place. I'm sure it's other places, I don't know, but I'll tell you what, some of those stories, man, like I used to do some work at night, and I would just put the headphones in and listen to those stories, and man, they'll make your skin crawl. Dude, they are really, really fascinating stories. Personally, I am from the state of Florida, which is sweltering right now. So, if you know anyone in Florida, pick up the phone, make sure they're okay, send them a bag of ice, maybe a box fan. Yeah, Bigfoot Chronicles is good. I follow them myself. Monty, I'll take you up on that, dude. I will take you up on that. I don't know if anyone got a chance to watch the last video. I know it just came out like a couple days ago. We actually, because of the holiday, I actually managed to get a video out before the live, which is kind of different. But the latest Dogman evidence is out, and I find it pretty funny. But we'll get there. If you haven't seen the picture already, I'll show it to you. Like so far, and I get what you're saying, Monty. I mean, I get it. But so far, the only Dogman person that I really take seriously at all is Scott Loomis from Monsters from Maine. But if I'm frank about it, and I've told this to Scott, I'm not talking shit behind his back, but I still don't know that what he's filming is Dogman. Like, he's got some weird shit, and he's got some obvious Sasquatches on film. But to say, the reason, they're Dogmen, and I won't question his integrity, is because he said they're Dogmen. He said they're bipedal dogs, and he has dealt with them on numerous occasions. So, for that being said, I just have to believe that that's what he's saying is true. I don't have any reason to believe that Scott is going to mislead me. But as far as the video, like picture evidence alone, I still don't have anything concrete to throw down and be like, yep, that's a Dogman. There you go. And I've seen some things that are kind of like, it's interesting. I'm still waiting. My meter's at like 35%. Like, I'm waiting to get up to, I need to see some stuff, some real stuff, Thank you, Mick. I appreciate that. I appreciate every single sub. I remember, God, what was it? Monty, was it 2018, 19? We started this thing. God, 6 years now. Just having 50 or 60 subs. It was, so cool. I was like, wow, this is great. And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, we're 1,000 subs, we're monetized, and now we're slowly approaching 10,000 subs. So that's, we're in the 7,500 range right now, 7,600. So we're gonna be on it before we know it, and it's gonna be very cool. 10,000 subs is huge. Yeah, Melbourne is just stupid hot, dude. It's hot everywhere around here, especially like if you're kind of near the water. But there's certain places like St. Augustine. St. Augustine is built mainly out of coquina rock, and it's something about that rock. It's like it absorbs. Like if you were to, it's like a blanket, and it's just, it holds the heat. And when you walk through the city streets, and it's like 89, 90 degrees, and these rocks are just roasting you from the side, dude. You're drinking alcohol. You're just sweating out every bit of liquid you have in your body. It's gross, but it's fun. Yeah, exactly. Like how, Monty, how is Dogman a real thing? Is it just... Look, I know there's a lot of question about Bigfoot and whether they have some sort of supernatural powers or not, or camouflage and all that, and that's how we haven't seen him for so long. And I can almost buy into that. But you mean to tell me that there's another creature, there's a dogman creature that is also like super rarely seen, you know? But then, I mean, you hear some of these stories that come from just normal people, and they're like, look, I'm telling you, it was a dire wolf on two legs, and it was walking like a man, you know? So it's like, okay, well, is it really that mythical? Is it just that rare? Is it, you know, I don't know. Oh, I see what you're saying, Token. Actually, yeah, like we have 44 right now, but we've been getting about 7 to 10,000. I think it was up to 11,000 one night per session. Now, of course, that's not everyone here in the room at the same time. That would be insane. But for a 3 hour period, yeah, 11,000 people. I'm fairly impressed with that. I'm like, that's really cool. And it's going to come to a point where I'm going to have to sort of entrust some people to be moderators. But the problem is people show up randomly. Like, you know, you might be here one week and not the next, or you're here for an hour and you got to go. So it's almost like you got to have like maybe 5 people that you can trust to make them a moderator. That way, if anybody comes in here and starts talking shit, which they do, you can just sort of kick them. I don't want to impede everyone else's good time by having some troll in here just dropping eggplant emojis or, you know, talking about, you know, Bigfoot's dick and stuff like that. So Explorer of the Woods, welcome. I've never heard that encounter. I'll have to check that out. I mean, I've heard some good ones, you know. I mean, I get it. It's a possible thing out there in the world. I just... That's really weird, Monty. You both just said Duluth. Like, there's a little bit of sequencing there that we could get into, but I'd rather not. So you were in Duluth? I didn't even want to know what the hell you were doing there. I don't know, it seems far from your home for me. Maybe it's not that far. The image on screen is a side profile of, you know, what we believe to be a skunk ape, which is how we refer to Sasquatch in Florida. They're smaller, shorter, lankier, and not as aggressive, but this is indeed a skunk ape. It's an IR picture, so it's infrared. So you really get a good look at all the details of the face. You can see the eyeballs there, you know, and you can see the nostrils and the mouth. It's a very cool picture. Now, what's funny about this picture, there's actually 2 pictures, same creature. Let's see if we can... Oh yeah, here's the same creature. Just a second later. And now you can see his eyes are closed for whatever reason. Oh, visiting family. Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. I've always been like the black sheep, you know, in my family. It's like I've never really hopped in the car to go visit anybody out of state, you know. Like my family did that growing up, and I don't know. Like I said, I'm the black sheep. I'm definitely the weird one. I don't never really understood that sort of thing, I guess. So now, like, I have family out of state that live in like West Virginia. And I'm like, shit, I gotta go. At some point, I'm gonna have to stop being a fucking weirdo and go and you know, visit family, be normal, one of the normies. Yeah, I feel you, Monty. I feel you on that. I've got two boys myself, and they're almost grown now. But yeah, I was about, I don't know, what was I? I think I was playing Saints Row or maybe it was GTA. But this is back in the day, like when they first came out. And I think I was about 3 hours into a gaming session, and I hadn't saved. And one of my little boys, Seth, he was real young at the time. I mean, he was just hand to hand learning to crawl on the wall. Like, he was walking, but he was like going along the wall. And one of his little hands hit my Xbox and just turned it off. Just flat out turned it off. It was gone. 3 hours of gaming, just done. I was like, oh my god. He's okay though. He survived. He's fine. He didn't, nope. I didn't do anything to him at all. You can't. It's illegal. So. It's true. Like when you play games now, they just automatically save at certain. You can just get up and walk away, and it doesn't matter. Just turn it off and go out. You know, go to the store, or whatever. You come back, it's fine. But back then, no, man. You still had to save something. You had to do something. Elkins, West Virginia. I know where that is, Tommy boy. I know where it is, and I believe him. I mean, if you've ever been to West Virginia, it's so ridiculously rural. I mean, it's beautiful, but it's so rural. I did a side by side on this. If you guys want to see that, there's no way there's not Sasquatch up there. There's just no way. And we've seen a couple pictures. I don't know if you guys ever saw like Big Red. There's a couple pictures. Bob Gimlin did a video on what they believed was one. Well, the guy that told the story knew what it was. He didn't believe anything. He said, "Yeah, it's a Sasquatch." Saw it in his backyard, and they took a really poor picture of it. But yeah, there's a lot of stories from up that way, and I think that you're foolish if you don't believe that Sasquatch lives in West Virginia. Welcome, boxing fan. Arizona. Yeah, Monty, there are a few games about Sasquatch, but it's always the Sasquatch being the aggressor, and some poor hunter has to fight his way off, get out of there alive. It's always the same storyline. Mick, we pull images from everywhere. We have a lot of friends that are in the research field, and they give us permission to use these pictures. Sometimes pictures are just lost on the internet. You'll find them buried on the internet somewhere, and no one claims them. So we'll showcase those as well if we feel. But for the most part, we deal with a lot of small-time researchers, and they give us pictures, and they give us permission to use their pictures. So because they trust us. So it's been a long time building relationships. Really? Boxing fan, I don't find that hard to believe, honestly. I mean, no one really talks about Mexico when they talk about Sasquatch. It's always the Pacific Northwest or, Florida, Canada. But, Texas and Oklahoma are a huge hotbed for Sasquatch. So why wouldn't we think that there are tribes of them in Mexico? And because, Mexico has mountains. I mean, they could be up there, There was actually a whole discussion about the Mexican grizzly bears a while back. That's kind of a myth, too, that they exist. But Forrest Gallant thinks that it's very possible that they do exist up there. At least in small sects, Man, what would be the powers? Camouflage, infrasound, echolocation, and impeccable hearing. There's so many cool ones. Yeah, Pennsylvania, definitely. Tommy Boy, tell them about Pennsylvania. We have solid evidence from Pennsylvania of Sasquatch pictures, various areas of Pennsylvania. In fact, I had my first Sasquatch experience in Pennsylvania. I say first, I mean, all right, maybe only, but still. Your grandfather, yeah, he probably, he grew up in a different generation than we do. He wasn't as attached to technology and things like that. And I think the older people, they have seen a lot more than we really understand. And they were a generation that was quieter about it too. They didn't really do a lot. They don't talk a lot, So I think that information, unfortunately, is going with them. We've dug some information out of the old Native American tribes. I'm sure that there's just tons to be had. Look at you guys, you're practically neighbors. Yeah, J-Mac has a lot of Tommy's pictures now. I absolutely will not be able to dig them up on the spot because I don't know where they are. But if you go and check, I believe, Tommy, correct me if I'm wrong, it wasn't the last video that I just put out, but it was the one before that, I believe, that had your picture showcased in it. So if you're interested in some Northwest Pennsylvania Bigfoot activity specifically, I would suggest that you go check out the one before the last video, and possibly the one before that. Because I know there was a lot of, Tommy, we were talking a lot about that tree stand that got twisted around that tree after you had taken a picture of that Bigfoot. So that was kind of a topic of conversation for a while. So I think it was probably the last 2 to 3 videos that we were covering that subject. Definitely on the last live show. I mean, I don't ask anyone to go back and watch a 3-hour live show, but if you want to catch I'll put it to you this way, I promise you this. Every picture that you see in a live show is on a recent video or will be on the next video. So like in this case, these pictures are on the video that I already put out. So yeah, like I said, go check the last video, check the one before that maybe. You'll see what you're looking for, I promise. And they're only like 20, maybe 30-minute videos, so. Good for him, dude. I mean, did you ever see Grumpy Old Men with Burgess Meredith? He's Jack Lemmon's dad, and he's like 95 years old, and Jack Lemmon, the character brings him like some beer, and he's like, Dad, you're supposed to be smoking filtered cigarettes, and he's like, yeah, he goes, I'm 95 years old. What the hell do I care? So. And it's true. You get to that age, man, just fucking do whatever you want. Nobody cares anymore. He probably eats bacon, too. Good for him. Tommy, it's funny. It's not even that, like, it's in a rural, remote area. It's that I don't feel it's possible. Let me ask you. You bought the tree stand. You've climbed the tree stand. Do you think that you could go out there with just you and yourself and twist that damn thing around that tree like that? I mean, it holds up to like 450 pounds. I mean, maybe if you had your boys with you, you might be able to, spin it around that tree. But to me, it's too coincidental. I've thought a couple times about changing this music, going to a different station. In fact, I think I did one time. I think I did like a medieval music kind of thing, but I don't know. This music just hits on all the right spots. You know what I'm saying? Like it's very appropriate. I just don't know if I want to do a lot of change. And it's funny because this was not thought out. Like this music just. It was like one of the first non-copyrighted music channels that I came across, and I was like, oh, I like this, So. And the fireworks are still going. Yes, good for you guys, bastards. Waste all your money on fireworks. Have a good time. Right, okay, so you tried to get it off of the tree and couldn't budge it. So what does that tell you? How many guys do you need to twist a tree stand around a tree? I can guarantee you only need one Sasquatch. You know, you might need 4 to 5 of your buddies. But if you got one Sasquatch, I'm sure, that doesn't want you in his area, I'm sure he'll spin that thing right around that tree. And then you can't come back and hunt the deer that he himself is hunting anymore. You feel me? Like that was a power move to get you out of his area. Well, a power move probably would have been throwing boulders at your head. That was a subtle gentleman's get the fuck out of my area, you know? You guys seem to know quite a bit about West Virginia. You ever heard of the Flatwoods Monster? There you have it. You guys are smart guys. Yeah, so you're probably talking about the Gugway. The Gugway has a little bit more of an elongated snout, so they're a little more baboon-faced. And rumor has it, yes, they are more aggressive. And then the four-toed, we have some examples of that in Florida. We tend to believe that there's, possibly, I don't want to get weird with it, but maybe 6 to 7 different species of what they would call a Sasquatch. And a lot of that is, I don't think it's really a matter of species. Like, let's say like the skunk ape, I don't think it's necessarily a different creature than, a different species than the Northwest Bigfoot. I just think it's a matter of adaptation. Northwest Bigfoot has to climb boulders and mountains every day. I mean, they're huge and they're muscular. Florida skunk ape is, wading through swamps and around mangroves and chasing deer, so they have to be fast. So it's a matter of adaptation. Humans have different adaptations of each other, but we don't call each other different species. Like, black people, Chinese people are not different species. They're just a different adaptation of a human. So I think that's the same way we should think, is like the Yeti and the Sasquatch are the same thing. It's just a little bit of adaptation that changes their behavior. Like bears, polar bears, grizzly bears, black bears, they act differently due to environmental, issues that they have to deal with, Welcome, Sharon. Yeah, honestly, I don't have a reason not to agree, and there has been like 0 Bigfoot reports out of Mexico that I know of, but I just don't think that's a reason to suggest that they don't exist there. That's like a lot of people think that Sasquatch doesn't exist in Europe, but I'll tell you what, there's some reports, and there's pictures, and there's some good stuff coming out of like the Netherlands. And I mean, you might not find one in like Dublin, but that doesn't mean that Europe as a whole is just Sasquatch free. So, where they are in Mexico could be as little as 100, different Sasquatches, in families and tribes, but they're still there. Hey, Jaxie, welcome. Never too late to come back. Don't worry. Yeah, Monty, that was Russia? I think it was Russia. I can't remember that dude's name. Because I don't find him important. I don't care what he did. Everyone thinks that he's so important. I don't find him important at all. I don't find him to be someone that we should even consider to be sane, frankly. So I don't really ever keep his name in my memory. Igor something. Had to be Igor, right? Says Igor something. Doing weird stuff. Stop it. This big ass Sasquatch sitting in this little car. It was like a little Pinto or something, and all I could hear is Tommy Boy in my head going, big guy in a little car, and it's just like, it's ridiculous. It's laughable. And then they got on the tractor and they drove the tractor into the lake, and then, oh my God, it was just stupid. And then there was one person in the world, like one lady that was like, all behind this guy, talking about how they were gonna get the Sasquatch to drive a semi-truck hauling the research area. It was like I said, it was a fairy tale. It was a freaking comic book. And I was like, this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. And I had to just, no, I couldn't do it. I typically don't like to mock people, even if I don't think they're, correct. I don't like to get disrespectful with it. But sometimes, man, sometimes you get my face like that. Gotta just let it fly. This guy totally didn't get in my face. He was just existing out there in the world, and I was like, I'm not gonna tolerate that. Oh, this is it. This is the one. I didn't know it was gonna come up so quick. I'm a little disappointed at that. All right, so we're gonna roll it though. There you go. This is the latest 100% solid dogman evidence that exists out in the world. So, I get it. I see it, what everyone else sees. He's got some prey here. He's got the intestines in his mouth, although someone told me that was bacon, not the intestines, but I don't know if I believe that. But, yeah, it is a super, super long forearm, but, I'll give you that. I mean, it is what it is. But my favorite part of this picture, which I don't know if you can get a great look at it, you should please go look at our last video, and you'll get a solid look at this picture. It moves around. I put it different places so you can see. He has no foot. No foot. He's got a leg, but there's no foot. So either he lost his foot somewhere, or this is bullshit. And looking at the face, it's just not the most convincing dogman face I've ever seen. He looks more like a big cat. I mean, he's got a long snout, not as long as I would expect, but he's got these little cat ears. And he's got this weird, taped and loose on him, which, that fits, but it's weird. My favorite part, is the smooth tree behind him. Completely smooth, with no bark. Where did that come from? And then it's supposed to be a trail cam because it has the little trail cam marking at the bottom there, which I don't think you can see it on this, but it does. Look at the night sky in this trail cam. It's gorgeous. I mean, it is absolutely just a gorgeous night sky in this trail cam. And this dog man just squatted down right in front of this trail cam, right in the light, right in the infrared light, to eat this prey. That's what they do apparently, right? The most elusive, possibly mythical creature ever squats down in front of a trail cam to eat this animal. And I don't buy it. I'm going to call bullshit on this. It's not Photoshop. It looks like AI. And AI is getting better at fur, but it still screws up things like hands, digits, just little things like this tree. The one tree that's bald versus the tree that has bark on it. Little things it just screws up on. And humans see it and it doesn't make sense. So it'll get so good one day that we won't be able to tell the difference. We won't know fact from fiction. But as of right now, if we keep a sharp eye, you can sort these things out. They don't pick up stars, Tommy? I don't know that for a fact, but you're right. I've never seen one that has stars in it. And this background is just gorgeous. It's like this Pacific Northwest sky. It's gorgeous. So I just don't buy it. And I'm sorry if I missed any of the questions there. I was kind of ranting, but yeah, there's no foot. Like I said, if you look, you'd have to go. Like I said, you need to go to the video and actually look at the breakdown of this picture. But the leg stumps off somewhere around the calf and just goes straight into the ground. Yeah, I believe that. So a lot of times what happens is people want to believe something so much that they'll just make excuses and they're like, oh, that's that, this is that. But you have to go at this, analytically. You have to look at this and go, this doesn't make sense, And in this case, it just doesn't make sense. You've never seen stars. Yeah, I didn't think so. I didn't think that you could see stars on a trail cam, although I wasn't sure why. But that makes sense. It's the infrared. So let's just say that you had a regular-ass camera out there, still you're getting this sort of sepia-toned, weird thing. It had a name on the camera. Somehow it's trimming it out somewhere on this picture, but it had like one of those little things across the bottom that says like high point camera, blah 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 blah, and the date and whatever else. But the fact of the matter is, with that, I could make one of those in a heartbeat. Like I could go to my little phone, my little photo editor app. I could make one of those. I could put it across any picture that I want. I could turn any picture into a trail cam picture. So that doesn't mean that all trail cam pictures are fake, but we have to be discerning when we think, well, does this make it real or is it fake? Does that add to the credibility or does it take away from it? In this type, this particular picture, we don't need a bunch of evidence to say that it's not real. If you take a look at his left calf, and I also agree with whoever mentioned the length of the arm. That's kind of crazy. That's a crazy arm length. I mean, if he was on all fours, he would, I don't know, he'd look like one of those squatty trucks that the redneck kids drive now, with the ass on the ground. This is a cool picture, and I don't know if it will quite resonate on, although it does look pretty good. I don't know if it'll resonate as much on the live as it does to me looking at it, but it does. It actually looks pretty good here. So can you guys see the face here that then leads up to this massive, like, sort of cone-shaped head, comes down. I'm gonna move my finger because I'm screwing up the, what do you call it, the focus. But it comes down into this big, like, no neck, shoulder shape. This is a very cool picture. This was posted by a woman named, I think her name is Shannon Miller, and like, I'll be honest, not every picture that Shannon posts I think is something, but she's had a few that are like, whoa, you know, and for that, you can't deny those. I'm gonna leave this one up here for a minute. I think it's really impressive, so I'll let you guys soak on it for a minute, let it marinate. As always, if you guys are sipping on anything tonight, let us know what you're sipping on. Don C., welcome. Welcome, welcome. We are having a couple drinks and looking at Sasquatch. Happy 4th to you too, bud. The industry that I work in, they call it J4 now. Is that lame to anybody else but me? I'm like, that's stupid. But, like, that's kind of what they want us to refer to it as. It's like, it's not July 4th, it's not Independence Day, it's nothing offensive, it's just J4. Man, I'll get down with it. Token sipping on Dr. Pepper. There's nothing wrong with the Dr. Pepper, man. I like some good Dr. Pepper. I'm probably one of the only people that I know that still drinks root beer. Tommy's drinking that cough medicine, sipping that scissor. Welcome, Oz. Welcome. Bro would just be vibing. Yeah, he's doing his thing. Just sitting there Sasquatching, you know. I think it's a very impressive picture. Like I said, I'm very, very happy with this picture. I'm glad that, and I'll tell you, this is the importance of groups that are accepting. You get into some of these, Bigfoot believer groups, and I mean, it's just full of trolls and skeptics. And there's nothing wrong with healthy skepticism. Like, don't get me wrong. I myself am a skeptic, although I am also a believer. So I'm a skeptic of a lot of photos that come forth. I'll put it that way. I like to weed out what I feel is the fakes. But there's a certain group. In fact, I'll plug the group. It's Bigfoot Believers and Other Creatures, and that's the difference there. It's a group by a guy named Daryl Denton. Also, Bigfoot World, Paranormal Researchers of Central Florida. Those are two groups that, if you truly have a picture that you are nervous about showing anyone because you just don't know how it's going to be accepted, you don't know how it's going to, if you're going to get a bunch of people dogging you or whatever, and then you're going to want to never show it again, these are the groups that you want to take it to. Obviously, my group, Bigfoot, Bigfoot Input, you're welcome to send us anything at bigfootinput@gmail.com or post it to the group if you'd like. If there's a troll and I catch them, I will toss them immediately. Okay? Healthy skepticism is cool. Trolling, being a dick, is not. So what happens is these people have cool pictures and then you never see them because they're so afraid of what people are going to think. And that's the narrative that we're trying to change desperately, that all evidence is good evidence. Bring it to the table. That's a really good question, boxing fan. Obviously, Sasquatch do communicate with each other through whistling, through tongue knocks, probably through echolocation, definitely through some type of languages, depending on the tribe that we're talking about, and even possibly some sort of telepathy. Whether they can communicate with each other, I feel that they can, but maybe on a more primitive level, like body language or scent, marking, you know, things to that nature. Maybe these, what do you call them, structures that we see out in the woods. Maybe they're not, as random as we think they are. Maybe they're for communication purposes, so hope that answers your question. Don, you're probably not wrong. It's happy holidays, man. It's whitewashing the world that we live in, Christy, welcome. Beer with beer. Beer. Goodness, that sounds terrible. Kathy Westerman mixes beer and Mountain Dew, and she swears by. I would never mix beer with anything. I mean, beer is good in its own right. You can just drink beer. I mean, I don't know what I would mix beer with. Maybe like put a little lime in it or something. But yeah, I don't know. So it's an interesting enough question, Catfish. We have a lot of unanswered questions about Sasquatch. Obviously not everything fossilizes. Like, we know that chimpanzees exist, but we have like one piece of a jawbone of a chimpanzee in fossilization. So it's a myth to think that dinosaurs are fossilized. That doesn't mean shit. Not everything fossilizes. Not everything was in the specific area to be fossilized. Usually you don't find alpha predators bodies. They go off somewhere secret to die. They don't want to become prey. Also, we don't know that Sasquatch doesn't bury their dead. We don't know that Sasquatch don't consume their dead. Perhaps they cannibalize their dead. So there's a lot of questions that we don't know about where are the bodies. But I would imagine that underneath the crust that we walk on, there are thousands of miles of cave systems that probably have a lot of information that we would be shocked to know. Caves! Monty's had enough to drink. Caves. Yeah, I hope that answers your questions about Bigfoot corpses. Because I'm not any sort of expert. I don't try to pretend to be. I just have my thoughts on it. That's all. In fact, I think if you dig back far enough on our channel, you'll find a rambling of a madman that talks about cave systems and why it's possible for Sasquatch to consider humans as a food source, and things like that. And of course, that will be one of the things that we will be covering on our upcoming podcast on Patreon. So if you guys are interested in joining our Patreon or joining our YouTube channel, you will have access to the videos that we do about cryptid corpses, and you will have access to our upcoming podcast, which, again, I say upcoming, I don't know, I don't have a date yet, but stick with us, it's gonna happen. Could be Bigfoot Input After Dark. That's not the official name, I just made that up. I don't know yet. I don't know yet. Just gonna let you guys look at this one for a minute. Just you can figure out what's going on here. Well, honestly, dude, we don't know that all these mound burial sites. We don't know. Is anybody digging them up? No, we don't know. I don't know if you've ever seen one of the mound burial sites, but if you live anywhere that had a large Native American population, there'll be a mound that's, now a city park or, whatever. It's an area you can't go to or whatever. It's preserved. We don't know who or what is actually in those mounds. We've taken it upon ourselves to respect those mounds and not dig them up and not do DNA testing, etc., which is fine with me. If anybody can't see the quote-unquote Sasquatch in this photo, let me know. I'll zoom it in. What do you guys think about that? What is that? What's that cave out in? What is it? Out in Nevada? Is it called Heartlock or something like that? It supposedly has giants, and they had the Smithsonian out there, and they shut down the whole operation. And this is back in like the 30s or something like that. They just shut the whole thing. Lovelock, thank you. Yeah, they shut the whole thing down. And to this day, no one knows what the hell they found there. Yeah, red-haired giants. I love that story about the red-haired giant from Afghanistan, in the mountains of Afghanistan. I like. There's a part of me that totally believes that story. I don't know if it's true or not, but yeah, I'm like, sure, the government would cover that shit up in a heartbeat. What was that? The Calandri giant or something? Calandri? It was somewhere in the hills of Afghanistan. Like some SEAL Team 6 went up there to like find their missing buddies, and they get up there and they just get annihilated. And there's like just a few of them like survived to tell the story, and when they told the story, they're like, "You're not telling that story. That never happened." So they got basically just killed this creature, and they got it strapped up to a helicopter and took it out of there. It's in some lab somewhere. Kandahar giant? Is that how you say it? Kandahar? Yeah, that sounds about right. That's a great story. Monty, I've never heard of that. Captain LaFleur? I'm gonna go research that. I'll tell you what. What was it? Independence Day afternoon. I had nothing to do, and I was very, very close to watching Harry and the Hendersons, but I think I got distracted by something on YouTube, so I kind of got out of that one. But it was close. It's getting closer. Like one day it's gonna happen. It's got to happen, but it didn't happen this week, and I'm fortunate for that. I'm glad about that. But yeah, one day I'll search it and it'll be free on Amazon or something. And I'm like, shit, and I'll watch it. Boxing fan, of course. Yeah, we that's a big video in the Bigfoot world as far as realism. I think that's 100% real. People have their objections, which I don't quite understand. The bottom line is he saw this creature before, and he ducked down behind this rock, and he turned his camera on, and it was a nice camera, like he was out there for a reason, trying to film something. And the creature looks right at the camera when it comes out from behind the rock because she knows he's there. So she looks in that direction. And then she goes down to the next rock and she picks up her baby. And as she picks up the baby, you can see the baby's head move. And then she runs off with it. So, yeah, I think that the Independence Day footage is legit. Tommy Boy's on the bandwagon too. I think if Wiley, if Mr. Midwest was here, I think he says that he has the same thing to say, that I just have to watch Harry and the Hendersons. I'm like, I don't understand. What the hell is this Captain LaFleur? I have to go look this up now. I've never heard of this before. They did their homework, huh? Does Harry, does he smell of old trash cans and rotting meat? Because I'm not watching if he doesn't. Like, if he doesn't smell like a skunk, I don't care. Alright, Don, watch Big Country. Is that the name of that movie? I liked Letters from the Big Man. I don't care what anyone says. It was a very unique take on the subject of Sasquatch, and I thought it was cool. Exists is a very cool sort of standard Bigfoot seeking revenge on white people kind of movie, you know. It's very cool. Very good movie. I liked it. Yeah. Other than that, you got to be careful as far as Bigfoot movies go. Yeah, there's some real stinkers out there, Tommy. I know you guys asked, but I'm going to zoom in on this and see if I can get a better shot of this guy. Okay, we're going to leave that right there for a minute. You could also watch that movie with that kid from Tool Time, where him and Sasquatch, you know, travel the country together, and Sasquatch fights off a grizzly bear. I don't know specifically, Tommy. I mean, because I've heard numerous stories like that. Like, it's not necessarily a unique story where people have Sasquatch on their property when they move there. And then they go through a period of, you know, back and forth, and they generally end up feeding them, which is a mistake. And then they befriend them, you know. But the problem with feeding a Sasquatch is that they're still an animalistic creature. And I've heard stories where if you don't keep up with said feedings, in whatever manner, it doesn't matter if you're actually trying to feed them. If you dump your leftovers into a fire pit, expecting to light it up once a week, if they come by on Tuesday and you haven't put your leftovers in there, you might have a problem. Because they take it as disrespect. You know, so it's really best, much like any creature, to lock up your food. Don't make sure they don't have access to it. Monty, you know what? The MacGyver episode did it for me too, man. I mean, seriously. I was like, what, 9 when that came out? And I loved MacGyver. I still love MacGyver. I'm not going to lie. I'll watch MacGyver right now. Such a great show. But the one where, they had the guy in the Sasquatch suit and he's trying to scare people off the land so they can, like, drill oil there or whatever, and MacGyver gets attacked on the abandoned ship by a Sasquatch. And then at the end of it, all's well that ends well. We've caught all the bad guys. And then MacGyver's like walking away, and there's like this big howl that comes from the forest. Man, it's just classic, dude. It's classic. I loved it. And I think that was probably what started my interest in Sasquatch. Yeah, feeding is a bad idea with any creature. Imagine, your stray cats around your neighborhood. Like, you want to feed them, because you feel bad, but you shouldn't, because then they come back to you as a readily available food source. Bears, like black bears, nobody puts their food. You don't put your food out for black bears. You try to hide your scraps so they don't destroy your garbage cans, because they will come back every time to find food. They're opportunistic hunters. Same thing with Sasquatches. It's like if you got dog food out, you got whatever your food source is, you either commit to sharing it all the time, which can you imagine satisfying the appetites of, or the whatever the expectations of a tribe of Bigfoot, or you just don't do it from the start. And that's the real thing. You want to give gifts, use marbles or feathers or whatever, crayons, whatever you want. But don't do anything edible. They'll probably eat the crayons too. Free Carry Doc. Welcome. It's a long name. We're going to call you Doc. And I would agree. To some extent. You don't really want to go looking for Sasquatches. If you come across one, please get it on film, for God's sake. But no, you don't. You don't really want to go searching for them necessarily. It is dangerous. However, we do know people that do successfully. Yeah, MacGyver had the best of a lot of things in the '90s. It was awesome. Chewing tobacco, yeah. Now, see, I've heard mixed things about chewing tobacco, right? Because a lot of these Sasquatches picked up chewing tobacco from the Native Americans. But there were some that were like, farther in the forest and, maybe away from human settlements. They didn't. And then, does anybody remember, what was that guy's name? Albert, whatever, the guy that got kidnapped by the Sasquatch. They took him to their camp, and he ended up giving the biggest one some tobacco, and as he was choking on it, the guy just made a run for it and survived. And they said it was because the Sasquatch had never had tobacco before and they didn't know how to react to it. Oostman, is that his name? Yeah, Albert Eastman. There you go, that guy. If you want to believe his story, which I don't necessarily not believe it, but this is Catherine Norris from New Zealand. And she claims to have creatures that are Sasquatch and creatures that are not Sasquatch. And she refers to them as, forest people and whatnot. She definitely has some interesting pictures to look at. I don't really know what to say about forest people, I mean, if you're talking about feral humans, absolutely. If you're talking about Sasquatch, absolutely. But when you get into these fairy type smaller humanoid type creatures. At that point, I start getting lost, you know. So. He might. You guys think Sasquatch can control fire? He might. I've heard of people running up on a campfire and it's not humans, it's Sasquatch. Or if they get a hold of a lighter. Or they just know how to rub sticks together. I mean, they've been around for a long time. Yeah, well, I wouldn't either, man. Like, you're definitely giving away your position if you do that. But let's say you have a reason for a fire. If you're cold, you want to cook food, I don't know. Doc, I mean, I would love to hear it. You know, we do a little bit of analyzation on this channel. It's kind of what we do. Bigfoot Input at gmail.com. You're welcome to send anything you like. We will check it out, and I will personally contact you before we do anything like sharing it or anything like that. So that's up to you. If you want to send it over to us, we'll have a look at it. What do you mean it's warm in the caves, Monty? What are you talking about? Caves are cold, right? What are they, like, close to the molten lava? I don't think caves are warm. I guess they get you out of the elements. You're not in the wind and stuff, but Ozarks are in what, Missouri, right? Boom. Watching TV finally learned me something. I watched that whole Ozark series. That's a great show. I don't watch too much TV, but that one was totally worth it. And I knew the Ozarks were in Missouri. That's where I learned it from. We got here Dennis Herstad, Washington State. I believe he's in the Olympic National Park area. Yeah, 6 days. I mean, I take issue with that. Like, what are they doing after 6 days? Like, did they kidnap you just, like, for the sake of kidnapping you? They want you to, like, be part of the family? Did they bring you in to eat you? I mean, it seems like they had no plan. I see like a branch right here, and I think the branch is separating its face. So you got like a eye socket right there, nose right there, and the mouth is where this branch is. You can see its chin down here. I need to get like one of those laser pointers for this show. point it right at Monty when I get one. So I had some questions when I came into this tonight. I think we kind of got off track like we tend to do. But I was going to ask, do you guys think that... So these creatures obviously have eye shine. They have tapetum lucidum. Do you think that that diminishes with age? Kind of like how humans get cataracts. This topic came up with the white Pennsylvania Bigfoot. You know, there's a couple videos that really substantiate this being a real creature. In fact, one of them, by Thinker Thunker, shows an eyelid, shows it blinking. But my big question about that video has been for years: why does it not have tapetum lucidum? And the theory was sort of arisen as, well, it's white, maybe it's old, maybe it doesn't have tapetum lucidum anymore, it's lost its ability to see in the dark. I mean, believe me, I'm not signing myself up for any smart person stuff. There's just, no, that's not going to happen. I can learn to pronounce a couple fancy words like tapetum lucidum, but I'm just thinking about it, like, well, that's the only thing that really makes sense. Is like, why do you have this creature that has so many pros of being real, but it's got a light shining right in its face, and there's no tapetum lucidum at all? I almost want to go and, like, can we get a group together? Can we go to the cat shelter? Can we take some pictures of old cats in the dark? Can we do some research here? Can we figure out if this is a thing? I want to know. I want to know how we can figure out if tapetum lucidum diminishes with age. I think we got some simple tests that we can take. We just need to get out there and do it. So let me know when you guys come up with that solution. Thank you, Don C. You're gonna make me cry. If I had feelings, I would really, it would be right in the feels. I would appreciate that. I do appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate the group. It's a fun group, and that's really what. If it was just me talking and there was no one, engaging, it would probably suck a lot. So I think a lot of my, if you want to call it success or whatever, is because of the group that we have. It's not just me. So, but I appreciate the kind words. Seriously, thank you. Consider becoming a member of the channel. You can be cool like Adventure Monty and have a green name with a little Bigfoot Input emblem there next to your name. Okay, so Jaxie, this is some interesting information. Jack says the cat's 18, but they still have tapes and listen. They're on it. Hold on. They're on it. Jaxie's gonna go take a picture of her cat. I'm sorry. I'm assuming that Jaxie's a female. That's probably not the thing to do. I'm not really sure about that. Don, were you here? You were here last time, weren't you? Last for the live. Man, there was a lot of poop talk last time we were live. We went off the rails last time. There was not a lot of Bigfoot talk at all. We were just really just shenanigans. Yeah, that's right, Tommy. It is from. Whoa. What is going on here? Sorry about that. Yeah, Thomas here. Okay, Jaxie is female, so we weren't that far off the mark. We're doing good. Cloudy. See, but the thing is, if you look at the Pennsylvania Bigfoot, the white Bigfoot picture, I mean, I wouldn't say it's cloudy at all. He has like these big, kind of bright black eyes or brown eyes. Like it doesn't look like it's because of age. It looks like he just doesn't have it, which is why it's always led me to believe that it's a mask. But then I see, Thinker Thunker's video that shows an eyelid blinking, and then if you watch Strange Spotting, which if you're not, you should, his video breaks that down like really well. So I'm at a loss here as far as what to think. A little bit more of Dennis Herstadt here and some of the weird stuff that he captures on film. Not entirely sure what it is, but it's strange. We like that. James, thank you, sir. Man, all the compliments tonight. I'm gonna get a swollen ego, Don, do you want to hear a story about Long Island Bigfoot, Long Island Mike? I'll tell it. When I first started this channel, um, and I mean it was early stages, I had found this really questionable video of what the person that posting it was, calling a Bigfoot. And I did a little video about it, which I kind of, at that point, maybe it was a little too opinionated, like opinionated. I understand that, but I did a video about it saying that it wasn't. I didn't think it was real. It wasn't a real Bigfoot. It was too like you're like standing right in front of it and you can't film it. It was very blurry. It was very crappy. But anyway, so and I kind of stand by that. It was really garbage, the video. But anyway, and I had made the comment. I said, like by the accent of the person in the video, it might be Long Island Mike. I said I don't know that for sure because someone had reposted it basically, like they had kind of stolen the video and posted it on their own channel or something. And Long Island Mike, because he has a lot of fans, a lot of followers, he got wind of it, came over to my channel, and really started dropping some insults because I didn't find his video to be legit. So, we kind of pissed back and forth and threw our dicks on the table, and it just, we had a little disagreement. Okay. So, him and whoever his followers were that were on my channel took off and, went back to his channel, back to his thing, doing his thing. And I immediately, I would say immediately, maybe give it a week or so, I kind of felt like, you know what, man, hey, look, we're both on the same team here. We're on the same side. Let's squash this and let's, we'll just be cool and get along, But, so I had commented, I couldn't message him, because it's YouTube, it's weird, you can't message people on YouTube, but I had left a comment on his video, like one of his most popular videos, and it was like, I said, look, man, hey, hit me up, please, at this, let's talk about this, And basically no response, it went quiet, so I took that as, well, he has his opinion of me, and he doesn't want to talk to me about anything, so that's fine, I'm okay with that. I do regret, and I did take the video down. Like I told him that. I said, look, man, I took the video down, and can we just talk about it? And he didn't want to talk to me about it. So that's fine. That's his own choice. I can't make that for him. But I will say that since then, I've listened to his story on my Bigfoot story, and it was very interesting story. And I would recommend you guys go check it out. I don't have anything bad to say about Bigfoot Mike or Long Island Bigfoot. Or Long Island Mike, we just didn't we got off on the wrong foot, and so I think that I'm forever dead to him. is what I'm gathering. So, there you go. That's the story with Long Island Mike, and I'll just move on from it. So, nothing personal there. On my end, anyway. Yeah, it sucks when there's a lot of like sort of lashing out at each other. But you know what? I'll be honest with you, Don. I don't have a great reputation with a few people. Because if I feel you're fake, I'm going to call you fake. I find it hard to believe that there are Bigfoot on Long Island in New York City. I know Long Island is a little more rural and it's, has some wooded areas and stuff. I find that hard to believe. But, cave systems, blah, blah, blah. You could probably reason your way out of it. But, like, even Colorado Bigfoot. What's his name? Mike? Mark? Yeah, the thing with Mike's. I don't know. I think a lot of the stuff that he posts is is trash. If I'm honest with you. He said 3 different incidences where stuff he's posted is just total trash. So that makes me question your legitimacy, as a researcher, as a person. I don't care if you're a researcher or not. Maybe you're just a guy that reposts stuff, whatever. But man, come on now, like let's keep it in some sort of on the road. Let's keep the car on the road. But anyway, so I get it. I sometimes call a spade, and people don't like that, and that's fine. Um, I don't need everyone to be my friend. So, but I also am not trying. I'm not out here trying to like pick up enemies either. But hey, it happens. Look at that. What is that? Again, Dennis Hurstad. I would almost call that some sort of spirit before I called it a Sasquatch. Could be a feral human. I mean, that seems like a pretty easy answer. Am I crazy? Is it holding something in its hand? Like some sort of rock with a design on it, or I don't know, it almost feels spiritual to me. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna make you guys a deal. I'll be around for another, I don't know, hour and a half, as it were. But I'm gonna take a little pause for the cause, okay? And I will be back within just a few minutes, and I'll give you a topic to discuss while I'm gone. Sasquatch are neither a sass nor a squatch. Discuss. Appreciate the break. Pause for the cause means I had to pee and get another beer. Yoko. It is a weird picture. Fortunately, my intermissions are not long. It's not a 15-minute intermission where you really have to come up with some shit. I always do the little joke in the middle though, like, you know, Sasquatch is neither a, I don't know, there was a, what the hell was that Saturday Night Live skit where she would get verklempt, you know, and she'd be like, discussion, you know, and she would, I don't know, it definitely Saturday Night Live, and I think it was Dana Carvey, but anyway, it's always been one of those things that just kind of sticks in my head, and it comes out every now and then, so. Pamela Esper here from the Bigfoot World Group. Got something interesting here on IR. Yeah, last week we were all misbehaved. Let's just be honest. Last week there was too many poop jokes. There was too many boys unattended shenanigans going on last week. All right, I want you guys to listen up since we're all here. I mean, not everybody's here, but Don's here, Tommy's here, Monty's here. You know, if everyone was here, like Wiley and Kathy, it'd be a little better conversation. But I want to throw this out there. It's a question that's been on my mind. We all know what pareidolia is, right? Pareidolia is the leftover phenomenon from our Neanderthal stage to be able to spot faces in the bush to avoid ambush. That's the scientific, that's why we see Jesus in toast and clouds and shit like that, right? That's the scientific explanation for it. So what if, here's the big question, what if, and pareidolia is a big thing in the Bigfoot community because we're constantly seeing faces everywhere. Like, I mean, some of these pictures, you can just pick out 20, 30 faces, but you kind of got to look and see which one, what's the big one that you think is real, right? And you got to avoid the other ones. So, if we do, we see Jesus in toast, dinosaurs and clouds and shit. What if pareidolia was not a thing? I know, I hear needles jumping off of records right now. I hear tires screeching. But, you look at this picture right here. Well, here's a set of eyeballs and a nose and a mouth. And a hairline. I mean, people say it all the time. They're like, "Well, I could pick out. Look, here's something right there. There's a face right there." People say it all the time. They're like, "Well, I could pick out 100 faces out of that picture that you posted." I'm like, "Okay, fine," and I get it. I'm a scientific guy. I believe in pareidolia. But what if? What if it wasn't real? What if pareidolia doesn't exist? What if every face that you see is a face? Now, look, I'm not saying that I'm correct. I'm just saying, what if? And it's a weird thought, but what if pareidolia just wasn't a real thing? What if it was just something that science made up to explain a phenomenon? So imagine that every face that you see in the bush, what if it was real? I have no idea what the Latin root is, but it's pareidolia is the word. I don't know where that comes from. Ooh, Monty. Ooh, you don't. No. No. I love where you're going, but you know, it's like you got to be careful when we talk about um, sequence and times and parallel experiences, and it's just like that's a little too much. It really could, and that is the danger. Is that, like, someone had asked me, one of the old time members of the channel had asked me, like, why don't you do anything about ancient tech? I love the subject of ancient tech. I love the subject of sequence and of parallel dimensions and consequences. I'm sorry, not consequences, coincidences. I love the subjects. I love them immensely, but there's some rabbit holes that you just don't want to go down. And for me, like, coincidences and sequences that's a rabbit hole that I don't want to go down. I don't have the time, I don't have the mental capacity in life to be able to broach these subjects and to have a conversation about them within the time frames, that life allows. Monty's just being he's being out of line tonight. He's all amped up on the White Claws, and he's just having things to say. Um, Yeah, I don't know. I wonder about things like what is the name just fell out of my head. What's the ancient civilization of the Sumerians? The Sumerians. Sorry, it came to me. You know, like what were they like? Like what sort of race of people were they? And you guys know that I've long held by the theory that I don't believe the Egyptians built the pyramids. I believe that they found the pyramids and they set up shop. Jesus Christ. Sorry, leftover fireworks from the neighbors, I guess. Um, but yeah, like so it's just it is a rabbit hole of a subject that I do enjoy. The Rockies, the mountains, glaciers, maybe. Yeah, I'm not really sure who built the Rockies. I think Coors Light built the Rockies, honestly. Iran? Is that your name? Iran? Are you from Turkey? It sounds like a delicious place to speak of. Yes, well, Monty he's a very funny guy, very intelligent guy. We all love Monty. Monty is from Wisconsin. He doesn't tell everyone that, but him and I sit around and talk about Jeffrey Dahmer on occasion. Wow, very cool. Some like Turkey. Wow. I mean, how did you come across this channel? Like, you're welcome. Obviously, you're welcome. Thanks for joining us. But I'm just always curious. Like, how does someone from Cambodia or Turkey or like what could just come across this channel and be like, I'm gonna go join that channel and see what's up? Like it's just weird to me. Uh, totally welcome, but weird nonetheless. Let's see what else. What else is available here? He's from Milwaukee. Well, he's not from Milwaukee, but he lives in Milwaukee. Dahmer Central. I'm pretty sure that he knew Dahmer. He's from Minnesota. Anonymous, if I remember correctly, I was waiting to see your pictures, but I don't know that I ever got them. Maybe they went into a spam folder. I should check that out. I don't know. But I don't have access to that phone right now. It's filming at the moment. No, you're cool, Aaron. That's interesting to see someone from a different country here. But yeah, Rick, I don't know that we'll ever actually have 4D pictures until a camera crew like loads up and goes out into the forest specifically to film a Sasquatch. But to do that, they have to believe that it exists, and they have to have the financial funding to do it. So that might be a long ways away. And frankly, I don't really care if we do or we don't, because the moment that we prove that a Sasquatch exists, will be the day that it ends up in a zoo. I'm not sure how to answer that question, Dylan. Sorry. This is the live show that you are listening to. Anonymous, do me a favor, send it again. And no, I don't necessarily think I have a way of... You gotta understand, like, YouTube has limitations that I've sort of fought my way around, you know, to be able to bring a live show at all that has pictures. Do me a favor, send it again. I'll check it tonight, tomorrow. And then I'll also check the spam folder to make sure that I got them. Alright guys, let's see. So Rick will find his way out of the group for suggesting Bigfoot porn. There you go. He's out. Alright. Okay, thank you, Anonymous. As I say, the phone that I have access to that email is filming currently. So as soon as I can, jump off the live, I'll check it again and make sure that I did receive it. Sorry, we do receive quite a few pictures, but I definitely appreciate it, and I'll check it out. Yeah, Dylan, it doesn't necessarily have to be like a live feed. Could be like, someone talking to you like with their face showing on the camera. We run a faceless channel, so I would rather you be able to look at pictures while we talk about it, if that makes sense. So you won't find, I guess, necessarily, it is live. I am live right now. You're speaking to me personally. But yeah, it's not live like I'm taking a video of a live Bigfoot right now, if that's your question. I hope that answers your question. I'm not sure. Do you really, Monty? Zero desire? I mean, I get it. Like, it's scary. I don't want to get eaten by one. But it'd be so freaking cool, man. Like, I heard one time. And it would be so cool to have caught a glimpse of it. But I want to do it, like, from a safe distance, but you can't really choose how or where you see a Bigfoot, you know? So it's not great. Huh. Well, I'll be interested to see that, your evidence, anonymous. I'll check it out after the show. Let me ask you this, anonymous: if we are interested in it and it's as good as you say it is, do we have your permission to showcase it on the channel? That's true. We're both. We're drinking and Americans. Yeah, no, I wouldn't want to see. I wouldn't want to see one in captivity either. That's my nightmare. And if we do, the mystery's over. You know, the whole Bigfoot mystery is over. If they capture one and put it in a friggin' zoo, we're done. Yeah. Hopefully, Steve-O will, you know, protest the capture of a Bigfoot. I have your permission. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Hey, Diesel in New Jersey. Welcome. You know what, Anonymous? I suspect that I did find this last week. This is what you're talking about, right? Well, shit, man. There's cows back there in the background, but that doesn't look like a cow to me. Yeah, Aaron, we like this music. Is it Aaron or Aaron? Aaron, maybe? Yeah, I see all of them now. I'm gonna have to look at these closer. Okay. Anonymous has his hand on top of the track.
Sorry guys, I got kind of distracted by that picture. It's certainly interesting. Let me slim it down a little bit. There you go. A little bit. Anonymous, let me ask you a question. Why is there a camera there? If you know. I mean, you don't have to know the answer to that. I'm just curious. I don't think it's outside the realm of possibility that, like the government knows about Bigfoot. But here's my problem: I don't think the government created Bigfoot because the reports of Bigfoot go back way too far. I mean, the Tibetan monks talk about Yeti going back 400 years. Henry Ford talked about Bigfoot. You know, so there's been too many explorers that have ran into Bigfoot tribes for the government to actually to have created the creature. But do they know about it? Sure they do. I mean, look at Mount St. Helens. They drug how many bodies off of Mount St. Helens during the eruption to try to hide the existence of. Why? I don't know. And it probably comes down to some sort of military, need to know basis. Huh. Well, that's fascinating, Anonymous. It really is. Yeah, definitely worth viewing, man. Thank you. Appreciate you bringing those to light. Take her easy, Jackson. We're an open group. Yeah, I saw somebody said that fireworks must have been buy one get 5,000 free this year. People are going ham this year. Honestly, it's crazy to me too. It's like with the economy the way it is, you would think that fireworks would be on the bottom, you know, level of concern right now. But they seem to be out there. Matthew Maynard is the guy that sent this photo in, and I love this photo. Anonymous, I have to ask, do you want me to announce your name as Anonymous in the next video? Because your pictures will definitely be in the next video that we do, given your permission. But I usually like to name the people that post them however they want to be named. Shane Hall. Okay, I'll remember your name. You guys want to see it again? I think that seems to be the overall topic of conversation right now. I'll hold it out here until my arm gets tired. I love how he's like neck deep in the water, because I would imagine that's how Sasquatch travels if he can. You know? And a lot of us believe that there's cave systems under the water that they're utilizing as travel. Okay, my arm's getting tired. Tune in next week. Next live, we'll have that picture up for everybody. Drop the bud. Yeah, I get that. Shane, we go live every 2 weeks, so every other Friday. And I wish I had a better scheduling system, but basically when I'm available on a Friday evening, which, every other Friday we go live. So whatever today is like what, the 5th? So it'll be the 15th or something like that before we go live again. Whenever the hell the next, I don't know when, if anyone knows when the next Friday, if not next Friday, but the Friday after, we'll go live again. So it's very kind of casual. And sometimes I'll do it at 7:30, sometimes 8:30. I don't ever want to do it at 10 o'clock ever again if I can help it. But anyway, yes, Dylan, it's blurry, but it's one of the best Bigfoot pictures you've ever seen. Let's be honest. Yeah, I agree with you, Monty. That was very exciting, and I'm excited to be able to put that on the channel next week. We just did a new video, so our latest video is out right now. So please go check it out, and then we will do another video maybe before next week's live. So understand something, Dylan. These are not my pictures. When I can tell you the photographer's name, I will. This is Matthew Maynard, and I will just show his pictures to the world on this channel. So understand that I personally have never photographed a Sasquatch. I don't want anyone to get that mixed up and think these are all my pictures. They're not. They're not. We are the reporters in this world. But we like to get people's permission before we post the pictures. I don't want to ruffle anyone's feathers or think that we're utilizing them in a negative way. We're not. Shane, I'm going to take a real hard look at your pictures when I get the opportunity, and when I'm sober, because we just don't do this on a Friday night. But I feel like you blessed us with a very important picture. So thank you for that. I appreciate you stepping out and letting the world see this. I think it's going to be very interesting. I'm very excited to analyze it, closer. Hear that? It's no good. No bueno. A little top off here. Tommy says that sounds like another. You're right about that, brother. You're right about that. That is another. Ugh, sorry to hear that, bro. I understand. I've got the bulging discs in the S1 uh, up to L5. I think I get it. It sucks, bro. Yeah, so we will definitely do. We'll have Shane's pictures on the next live for certain, and one of two things will happen. Either they will have already been analyzed on the next video on the channel, or they will be ready for the next video, like the one after the live. It just depends. So please, if you haven't liked and subscribed, do all that. Like, subscribe the video, the channel, sub to the channel. Please do so. Because I try to keep the videos under 30 minutes. Sometimes they run over 30, 35 minutes at most. But I like to keep them in like bite-size, format, to where you can just kind of kick back and watch a 30-minute video without being overwhelmed. So when I get those photos into a different format, they're very clear. I point out things in the video, in the photo, so I'm very excited to be able to do that for you. But yeah, please follow the channel and watch our videos. Not just the live, watch our actual videos. Damn, look at all of us with our bad backs. Jesus, bunch of old bastards. Yeah, you got to figure Monty, like, he's there for a reason, right? He's there watching those cows. That's a better question. Shane, have you ever had any cows come up missing? Shane, I will keep you in mind, believe me. Like we were talking about earlier, I know you weren't here. We were talking about the dream of Bigfoot Input, and the dream is to be able to have an RV with a tow behind Jeep that travels to site, you know, doing interviews and researching the area and stuff like that. That's the dream. So believe me, if I ever get to that state, I will hit you up if I'm ever in Texas. Yeah, see, that's the thing. When you get cows missing, I mean missing, you know, they're not missing from coyotes. You know, I mean, it takes a lot of coyotes to bring down a cow. But one Sasquatch, I feel, could break the neck of a cow and drag it into the water. You'll never see it again. So. Here we go. It's the Nephilim. Bigfoot is Nephilim, even though there's like no like tie between the two. There's no possible way that they're connected. But in a Christian's mind, Bigfoot is Nephilim. So I don't know what to say to that. We have a video, by the way, if you want to go back and check. I don't know, 3-4 months ago, we have a video about why, about the whole Nephilim Bigfoot theory. Right? I'll tell you what, Shane. Whatever you send, we will do whatever we can do to put it out there in the world. And Monty's right. If it's Patreon level stuff, we will do that. Did you guys see that video in Australia of the wild boar? They got ripped in half, and they just, it's assumed that it's a yowie, which is probably true. Hell, Shane, I want to come out there and spend some time. I want to chill, but I want to do it with a toilet, So I have to get a RV first, Ooh, this is cool. This is New Jersey Sasquatch. I don't think he has a photo of a Sasquatch here. I think he has a photo of a feral human, but it's still kind of cool. Guys, obviously Kathy is not going to join us tonight, but she wanted to make sure that I said hello to everybody for her. Kathy, Bigfoot World. She is responsible for a lot of the evidence that we have on this channel. So if you don't know who she is, look her up on YouTube, look her up on Facebook. Bigfoot World, Paranormal Researchers of Central Florida. And please, like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. They deserve it. Will do. I'll screenshot this for her and I'll send it over. She's actually in the woods tonight. doing what they do and finding evidence of skunk apes, etc. Let's go back. Let's go back to the beginning in case. Oh, we're almost at the end anyway. This is the side by side of a creature that she took a photo of in IR in infrared. I want to make sure everybody gets a chance to see this. I think the adaptations can go very far. You know, it's like they can go far. It's like the difference between a black bear and a polar bear. Um, so that's about as far as I can go on that subject. You know. This, of course, this is a IR, of course, so it's infrared photo, but I think it's absolutely amazing. This is the real sort of money maker of the photos right here. Yeah, so it's like you can see this is the hairline up here, right? And then there's forehead, and there's eyeballs, and you can see the iris, right there, or the retina of the eye, right there. And what I love about these photos is that you can see the nostrils. So it's kind of like, it's like I'm not going to talk about pareidolia with this photo because you can see nostrils and then you can see the mouth too. And somebody had said something about, well, the mouth is too close to the nostrils to be a shut up. You don't know, first of all. And I know the author of this photo, which is Kathy. Obviously, we all know Kathy. And Kathy just she comes up with stuff accidentally, and it's such a cool thing. It's like it's very natural. It's like she doesn't go out there to stage anything. She doesn't like try to come up with stuff. It's like she just goes out there and comes back with stuff, and then it's like so it's very organic. So I love that about that group, about Kathy Westerman. And yes, this is a photograph in IR of a Florida skunk ape. Lucy, why just the Jihad? Why just the head? If you look right here, right here, this is a tree. That is the tree that this creature is hiding behind. Believe me, these creatures are very elusive. They want to remain hidden. And by utilizing nature, they figure out how to do it. So yes, this is the tree that is hiding the rest of this creature, and this is just the head. Was it your window, Tommy? I assume not, but just ask. Yeah, I've seen that photo before, man. It's like, here's the photo. This is from a channel called NVTV. And I'm not going to say it's like from them, but they were the first to like kind of make it popular. And they've been caught up in so much bullshit. It's like they've been caught up in so many like hoax type things. I don't know. I know there's a whole story that goes along with that, like photo. So I'm not gonna like try to like say it's fake, but I don't trust anything that I see that comes from NVTV. Taunt. Tell your wife to be quiet, man. Like, she could join in, but yeah, MVTV is ridiculous. I mean, I can't believe anything because they mix like real stuff with like shit that they produce. So I can't buy anything that they do anymore. Yeah. Yeah, it totally will. Like I almost feel like my channel is like the anti AI, and it will become worse and worse. Um, did you guys? I don't know if you. Let me check out this one here. Did you guys see this? The latest Dogman footage, or photo, rather. It is totally AI. Yeah, it doesn't have a foot. My favorite part is the tree back here that has no bark on it. This like just strip tree, all of it. It never had bark ever. But the fact is, he has no feet. And if you watch our last video, the one that I just put out, he has no feet, not one foot. So for me, that I don't know, that kind of puts him on the outskirts there, you know. I would appreciate anyone that's listening right now. If you are not subscribed, please stop by and subscribe to the channel. It's much appreciated. Every time we do one of these lives, we get about 50 or 60 subscribers, so I would appreciate that. Some of you guys you've already been here. You've already been subscribed for a long time, and I appreciate you guys too. Some of you are already subscribed to the channel or the Patreon, which we appreciate as well. Right? Yeah, I agree with that, Monty. It's like we'll be the last Terminator, you know, that movie. It's like we will fight the good fight to stand up against the AI, the machines, you know. This was taken in Withlacoochee, Florida, so along the river. Yep, every other Friday. That's right. Enjoy it. Join us. I will be here if I can. Monty, do you see this one, right? Well, if you look here, there's like the face right there, and it has a cone-shaped head, which goes down to like a lack of neck. I appreciate you guys joining us, and I appreciate the all the love, and we're gonna call it a night. So if you guys haven't joined the channel yet, please do so, or join us at on our Patreon channel. I'll see you guys next week. Yes, sir, that is a wrap. You guys are always welcome here. And join us every 2 weeks. So we won't be here next Friday, but we will be the next. Monty, thank you so much, sir. Please, like I said, if you guys haven't joined the channel, please do. It's very inexpensive, and it helps us out a lot. Or join the Patreon at www.patreon.bigfootinput.com. So, thank you so much. Oh, Mr. Midwest, yes, you did. Yes, you did, sir. I'm so sorry that you missed it. Go back and watch it. Monty, I will watch Harry and the Hendersons just because you have paid me to do so. Thank you, Tommy. I appreciate you, sir. Yeah, I hope to see you in 2 weeks, sir. I hope to see you there. Mr. Midwest, Kathy told me to tell everyone hi, hello, that she missed. She couldn't be here tonight, so. Yeah, I appreciate everyone's donations. Thank you so much. Seriously, I appreciate you guys. It really does help move the channel along. So thank you. Yeah, she is. She's doing something awesome. She's out in the woods looking for Bigfoot, which is pretty fucking awesome. I'm gonna leave this open for you guys to chat with each other, even though I'm going to bed. So I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you. Good night, everybody. You can stick around and talk to each other if you want to. I want to show. Hang on. I want to show Mr. Midwest. Did you see this picture here? This is our last video. And let me show him Shane's picture. Yeah,